Holy sh! I was lucky enough to have a rare sit-down interview with the head of Instagram, Adam Mosseri. To my knowledge, there are very few, and this might be the only interview where he has specifically spent the entire conversation talking about the Instagram algorithm, taking a look under the hood, and figuring out how Instagram works. But before I tell you the story of how this happened, I just want to say this is not about me. This is about you. This is about serving you. This is about getting answers for you. This is about helping you understand the facts, the truth, the reality about growing on Instagram. This is about helping you find some peace in the chaos that is trying to grow a brand or business on Instagram. I was not paid to do this interview, nor did I pay to do this interview. Here's how it happened. On the night of October 28th, 2024, I went to bed just like any other night, but that night I had an interesting dream. My dream, and this is not an exaggeration, this is not made up, was that I got to walk around Instagram's offices, Instagram's headquarters, following or shadowing Adam Mosseri for the entire day and asking him questions about how Instagram works. Well, that morning when I woke up, I decided that was a pretty funny dream and it was related to my niche, so I posted about it on Threads. In fact, I said, and I quote, this is from October 29th, 2024. I had a dream last night that I followed at Mosseri around for a day and picked his brain about the inner workings of Instagram. We should make it happen, for real. I posted it, and I didn't think much of it. I went to the gym, I had breakfast, I went about my normal morning routine, and then I opened up Threads a few hours later, and suddenly my heart dropped. I felt the butterflies going, my heart started racing because he had replied. He said, "What do you want to know?" And I said, "Oh, hi. I have a long list of questions that I would love to ask. And shoot or shoot, so I'll ask this. Who can I get in contact with to set up an interview with you? I'll fly to you. Let's make it happen." And he replied, "Let's try to figure something out." And even just this little back and forth was enough for me to be on absolute cloud nine. So you can imagine how I felt a few hours later when I had an email in my inbox from a member of his personal team, basically talking about setting up this conversation. They said that they had seen our conversation on Threads, they had heard from Adam, and they wanted to talk about what this could potentially look like for the future. If we were to have a sit-down interview, what would be covered? What would we talk about? What would be the distribution? Who would see this conversation? And we started planning. And again, that was back in October of 2024. Fast forward, you're watching this in either the end of March or April of 2025. So about 4 or 5 months of planning, going back and forth, trying to iron out all of the details of this. And there were definitely times where I was like, I don't know if this is going to happen. I don't know if this is real. This was kind of like a pinch me moment. Like I said, this was literally a dream coming true. Fast forward, here we are. I land in San Francisco. The butterflies, the adrenaline are at an all-time high. And I'm showing up to the Instagram offices to have an interview, an hour-long conversation with the head of Instagram himself. I want to let you know right now that our plan is to release the full conversation next Thursday, which is April 4th, 2025. So make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, whether you're listening to this on audio or you're watching the video version on YouTube. I want to encourage you to subscribe so that when that new episode comes out, it automatically shows up on your app. But when I was going into this interview, I had one key goal in mind. And while some of you may hope that my goal was to belittle him and yell at him and cuss him out on behalf of all of the creators who are struggling to grow on Instagram, that wasn't my goal. My goal was to leave with the best possible understanding of how Instagram works. So I want to tell you some of the things we talked about in our conversation. We talked about the algorithm, of course. We talked about shadow banning. We talked about hashtags. We talked about what the heck is going on with everyone's views recently, something we covered just a few weeks ago here on Build Your Tribe, and I wanted to hear it directly from him. What is going on and why have these changes occurred? We talked about a lot of the common myths, rumors, and misconceptions about Instagram and what determines what videos get views and who gets followers. And we even talked about some super exciting features that haven't been released yet that he was honestly giddy to share with me. In my opinion, the interview was a success, and I'm really excited to share it with you. Now, I want you to know that I can't promise that your jaw is going to be on the floor or that you're going to walk away with an entirely new view of the world thanks to this interview. But if you can listen to what he has to say with an open mind and take in all of the value that he is sharing, I can promise you a few things. Number one, you will learn something. Number two, you will be a better business owner, content creator, social media manager, brand, or whatever it is that you do on Instagram. You'll be better because of it. And number three, you will feel at peace regarding the questions and challenges you have regarding Instagram. I want to encourage you to subscribe one last time. I want to thank you so much for supporting me, supporting this channel, supporting my Instagram, and supporting my growth over the last few years. I started podcasting back in 2017, and it's kind of crazy. I was doing the math the other day. 8 years later, something like 600 episodes later, here we are. And I want to encourage you. This is where I want to end today's mini episode. I want to encourage you by saying, I'm not special. I am just like you. I believe that shooters shoot. I believe you got to shoot your shot. I believe you got to put yourself out there. You have to keep showing up consistently. You have to improve little by little, day by day. And eventually, you can quite literally make your dreams come true. I am truly just like you. And so before you even watch the interview, I hope one key takeaway that you have is that whatever it is that your dreams are, whatever big ideas you think are impossible right now, they're possible. You are capable of achieving those things. Keep showing up, keep staying consistent. I know it's not always easy. I know there are challenges. I know there are setbacks along the way, but keep showing up and you can achieve anything you want to. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week. And as always, happy networking.